All right. So the Phillies have lost 3 out of their 4 series.
So they lost to the Giants,
They lost to the
Padres,
Giants,
and
the
Angels.
Padres, and the Angels. And I mean, they did look really good against the Red Sox, besides for that third game. But the first 2 games against the Red Sox, they were able to get by. Red Sox are still a very good team. I mean, I'm surprised the Phillies were able to put up a fight, considering their last showing versus a significantly worse team in the Angels.
Yeah. I mean, the Angels can hit, but you got to expect that the Phillies should have been able to at least win one of those games.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Like they should have had at least Friday's game or like Sunday's game in hand.
Yeah, and they weren't able to
I
get the
mean, the
job done
Angels are
with
not
either.
the Angels are not a good baseball team.
They're a 500 team. They're
They're not
average.
gonna. They're not
They're
a competing team.
no. There's a chance that they could potentially sneak into the wild card race, like out there to like get in the conversation, but whether or not they're actually serious.
But if they're planning to sell, I don't see them having any ambition to make a push for the playoffs whatsoever.
well, because a lot of teams, I feel like, who are technically still within reach are gonna be viewing themselves as sellers, like, because there's a lot of. I think they said that there's a total of 20 teams that are still within 5.5 games of a playoff
No,
spot.
yeah, there is still a lot of teams. Whether there's teams over 500 that are willing to buy, or
Mhm.
there's teams that we already know that are going to sell. But then you have the teams that are uncertain, like the Red
Right.
Sox.
Where they're not sure because
You know,
they
there's
compete in a tough division.
they're in the thick of it in the playoff
Mhm.
spot, and anything can happen.
And with a team like, when you look at those like middle teams, I'm going to put the Giants in this category as well. Because I feel like the Giants are kind of like another middle.
Because they play in a very tough division.
Exactly. And you already got, the Dodgers and the Padres, who are probably without a doubt going to make the playoffs from the NL West. And the Giants are looking to be the third and potentially last team to make it in from that division. And I'm not entirely sure what their schedule is coming up, but it's not like they're going to have an easy schedule. You're going to have to play the Dodgers and the Padres again. You're probably going to have to play some of the American League bigger teams because this is when all the interleague series now are taking place. So I assume they're going to be probably. I can't. Did the Yankees and Dodgers play this year already? Because I feel like that would just be a big marketing game for them. So I feel like that means everyone in the NL West is going to play the Yankees
Dude, I
at some
don't
point.
recall if they played. I think they. Oh yeah, I think they did
did
play. Yeah,
I think they did, but I can't remember.
no, because they would have put all the games on national television if they played, and I'm pretty sure they played. I'm pretty sure
I think they
they
did. I
had
might
a
be
Sunday Night Baseball.
I might be misremembering last season, but I think they already did. I think they already played each other this year.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did as well.
But that means that they also have the entire American League East they're going to have to play, which means they're going to also have to play not only, teams like the Dodgers and the Padres, who are
You gotta
clearly
play
better
the-
than them.
you gotta play the Blue Jays.
Yankees, Blue Jays, Red
Blue
Sox,
Jays are
Rays.
really good. I think the Giants already played the Red Sox.
Okay,
but-
they did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I mean, the Blue Jays are sneaky good. They just came out of nowhere and somehow in first place in the American League East.
Well, Bo Bichette has had a good year after having a really down year last year.
Yeah, Bo Bichette's picked it up.
They got Vladdy, obviously.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
They've gotten some good contributions from...
Yeah, George Springer's having a resurgence.
And same with Chapman, right? Chapman's had a good year, too.
Chapman's on the
hasn't
Giants.
he? Or no, who's their third baseman?
Is it Barger? It's Barger, Clement. They have a couple of guys out there.
Oh,
Clement.
Clement and the other guy. Clement was the guy that was playing... I think he played all 3 games against the Phillies. Either way, they've got a good team, and teams like the Giants and Red Sox are going to have, that uphill battle.
Even the
they gotta
Rays have a
climb.
good team, too.
Yeah, even the Rays are a good team. They're not, what? They're maybe a couple of games below 500, but they compete in that very, very good division. So just because they're under 500 doesn't mean they're a good team. And the way I look at it is like the Giants and the Red Sox, I guess, are very comparable in their records and where they are in the standings, but I don't know if they're comparable in the way that the roster is like made or shaped up. Because, Boston's got a lot of young, up-and-coming talent, where the Giants,
Meyer,
I feel like,
Campbell,
are all kind of
Roman Anthony,
aging and guys who have already been here
Matt
for a little
Chapman's
while.
in his 30s.
Like Elliot Ramos has been around for a little while now. Wilmer Flores has been around for a little while now.
Yeah, Wilmer Flores, I feel like, has been around for a long time.
Adames has been around for a little... Oh, wait, no. Adames is on Milwaukee.
Adames is on the first year of his contract with the Giants.
Oh, yeah, he is with... but... So he's there now, but he's what? 20...
He's been in the league for I think, like 6 or 7 seasons.
Right. So, because of how loaded their division is, and the fact that they kind of do have an older team compared to at least what you see with the Red Sox, I would more expect the Giants to be selling, I guess, than the Red Sox will. Because I feel like the Red Sox, it would make more sense for them to stay.
They won't sell off like many pieces.
No, but I could see them moving off a couple of contracts that will be heading into the later stages, or contracts that they will just be looking to get rid of for the rest of the season, potentially. Like, maybe someone like, Mike Yastrzemski.
All right,
could be potential for someone to be on the move.
They have
he's what?
They have JV on a contract, but
yeah, like Yastrzemski's what, 29. He's got 2 years left of contract eligibility. Are they really gonna go and try to re-sign him as a 33-year-old outfielder? Like, that to me makes sense of someone that could potentially get moved.
Yeah, to like a 1-year contract he might get signed to, but
yeah, like, so
he's not going to get big money.
No, but I do still think he has a couple years of contract control, because he came up as he was like an older prospect when he like came up. I think he was like 26 when he got called up, because he's been with the Giants for what, 4 seasons now?
He's been, I feel like longer. I think he's been with the Giants since 2019.
Has it really been that long?
Yeah, it's been that long.
So then this might be his last year of his rookie deal.
Yeah, probably.
So that could be someone that they could definitely move off of. Right-handed bat. Let's see. I'm not too familiar with the Giants team.
No, I don't know like the Giants roster either.
I know.
I think they stay where they're at the deadline. I mean, they already made a marquee trade, and that was months before the trade deadline.
Right, but it doesn't seem like it's making their team any better, because they're falling in the standings.
Oh, no, yeah, Devers is not playing well with the Giants.
So,
you got...
I don't know what that means for them,
Justin Verlander can't get a freaking win in baseball, only by beating the Braves.
Well, Justin Verlander is one of those guys who, he's, what, 39, 40 years old?
Yeah, he's 42.
Yeah, he's 42, so...
Yeah, he's basically just a player coach. I mean, like... I guarantee you the young players are definitely like learning from him.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, without a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
But wouldn't really expect him to have good numbers in his age 42 season.
I just feel like the $15 million they gave him was pretty stupid.
Oh, yeah. That was gross overpay.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to be same thing with like
Charlie Morton.
Or, DeGrom at this point in his career. Scherzer.
Yeah, DeGrom's having a pretty resurgent season.
He is, but he signed for what, the next 2 or 3 years, I think, after this?
Yeah, he has 2 more years left after this season.
So, I mean, he's performing good right now, but is it ever really worth it to be given someone that is a huge question of whether
only
he's going to
36,
play $20-something million?
They won a ring. He didn't even pitch.
Yeah, exactly. Which is crazy to think of.
He didn't pitch a lot in the season prior. And now this is just like first year pitching. I don't think the Rangers are going to make the postseason.
No, they're not going to. They're not even close, I don't think. But one of the things that or at least I could see happening here, would be a little, since we're speaking, on teams like the Red Sox and Giants. Red Sox, I feel like, are going to try to maybe do like a little addition through subtraction kind of thing, where they already want to have their outfield consist of the young players of Cedane Rafaela.
Cedane Rafaela, Roman Anthony.
And Wilmer Abreu.
Yeah.
So they have those three, and Jarren Duran is kind of the odd man out. So I would not be surprised at all if Jarren Duran gets moved, and Jarren Duran is, just signed, on the second year of his contract? The big contract that he signed, right?
Jarren Duran, I definitely see getting moved now, because the Red Sox have officially stated that they want to move on with this young core of outfield players.
Didn't they already lock him up for multiple seasons? Like, isn't he already paid for the next 6 or 7 years?
He's a free agent for until 29.
Yeah. So he's under control for a little while.
He's under control. He has a couple
for
team
the next
options.
4 years. Yeah. Because I think last year they signed him to some type of deal. I remember, if I could remember correctly, outside of his rookie contract, it was some type of extension. But, that's someone that you could definitely potentially trade for. That's probably not going to cost you too much, since they're already looking to get rid of him. Only thing is you're probably going to be competing with a lot of other teams for Jarren Duran.
Yeah.
And you're probably going to have to give up a prospect haul that is pretty significant in capital, just because of the sheer amount of other teams that are interested.
I think Justin Crawford will definitely be the headliner. If you're going to trade a lefty outfielder for another lefty outfielder, he's going to be one of the main players that goes along in the deal. Obviously, you have to throw in probably a pitching prospect. So it's definitely going to be a tight race for the Red Sox outfielder. There's a couple more outfielders that
I think fit the team better. Yeah. I mean, not
that fits the team better according to you, but
not that Duran, I don't want to say that he just doesn't fit the team. It's just, he's not right-handed. He does provide a little bit of power, but he doesn't provide any power against left-handed pitching, which is kind of what you're in need of at the moment. You need someone that's able to hit left-handed pitching right now, especially from the right-hand side. It's kind of like the Steven Kwan thing, without the power.
When the Red Sox came to Philly this week, Monday to Wednesday, it felt like we were getting a taste that this is what we could have if they do decide to trade for him.
I felt more that way with Taylor Ward.
Taylor Ward had a really good series.
Yeah, that was a showcase series.
Jarren Duran, he didn't have the best series.
No.
Had a home run in the first game.
And that was about it.
Yep. Wednesday night, struck out 4 times, 0 for 5.
Yeah. So, I mean, if we're just going based off of that, I would rather have Taylor Ward. I mean, he's not necessarily a horrible left fielder. He's maybe not as fleet of foot as Jarren Duran is. But, I mean, he's not terrible, or at least by any measure that I've heard. It's not like he's a horrible defender or anything like that. I'm sure his defensive metrics are probably just about average. But his bat is something that the Phillies definitely could use. I mean,
definitely.
Just look at how he hit the ball while he was here. I mean, I don't know about you. It seemed to me like he enjoyed hitting in this ballpark.
Yeah, 5 for 12 in the series.
With what? Dude, 2 home runs, three doubles?
Couple home runs. Dude's batting 500. I mean,
drove in 7 runs over the series?
He looked really good.
Yeah.
2 RBIs. 2 RBIs, 4 RBIs. So what is that? 8 RBIs.
Yeah, so he had 8
games.
RBIs over the series.
8 RBIs in 3 games.
He was a monster.
2 home runs.
Yeah, 2 home runs. I think 3 doubles, 8 RBIs. Dude was like a fucking monster the entire series.
That is what Dave Dombrowski is looking at in the press box, and is like, that is something that is worth trading my prospect for. And he's under control.
I think for next
2027,
year, right?
Yeah.
So, the end of 2027 or start?
Start of 2027.
Okay, so the end of 2026.
Yeah, so one more year of control.
So 1 more year of control. But I mean, I would pull the trigger on a deal for him immediately. I mean, I understand that Especially because the Phillies and the Angels the past couple of years have made a lot of deals.
Yeah, they've definitely traded a lot.
So we know that they've got a good history there.
Noah Syndergaard and Marsh.
They have obviously a good rapport with the front office. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of people, there's a lot of familiarity there. And familiarity might be able to help push a deal over the line, you know? You might be more willing to take a lesser prospect from this guy who you are familiar with dealing with in the hopes that you might be able to exacerbate something back from him in the future, kind of like a you scratch my back, I scratch yours kind of thing, where it seems like they've already kind of done that a little bit already with the way that they've exchanged players between the two teams, the Phillies and the Angels. It's almost 4 straight seasons now where the Phillies have traded for someone from the Angels.
2024,
same with last year.
They traded a lot with the Angels, man.
Well, for Marsh and Syndergaard, that was the same year, right?
Yeah, Marsh and Syndergaard was the same year,
right?
But they were 2 separate trades. It wasn't like Marsh and Syndergaard. 2 separate trades. I think it was Marsh. It was Marsh for Ohapi and Syndergaard for Moniak.
And then Estevez trade last year.
Yeah, Estevez trade for some pitching prospects.
And then I don't know if they had a deal with them in 2023.
I don't think so.
I don't think they did either. Where was Lorenzen from?
Detroit,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Detroit.
But I know he pitched for the Angels I think Lorenzen pitched for the Angels.
I think he did, but I don't know if that was during the same season or not.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I think that might have been earlier in his career that he was pitching for the Angels, not the same season. But regardless, they do seem to have a history of, making deals with the Angels, and it seems like for both sides, the moves have kind of worked out pretty well, I would say. Brandon Marsh is still here.
Yeah, Brandon Marsh is still
O'Hop's
here.
Still there.
Logan O'Hoppy's having a pretty good season. Well, he's the starting catcher. He's the everyday starting catcher.
Noah Syndergaard's not here, and McMoniak's not there. So, I mean, it
Noah
seems like it's kind of balanced out,
Noah Syndergaard provided for us in the
short time that he was here.
In the short time that we got to the World Series. And Mickey Moniak's raking with the Rockies.
Is he actually?
Oh, yeah.
I thought last I saw his batting average was 216 or something. Oh no,
Mickey Moniak's killing it these past couple of games. I saw an Instagram post. I have to find it again.
That's probably just because I haven't checked anything on the Rockies since the Phillies played them.
Probably. I mean, do we really care about the Rockies?
Exactly. So they're not really kind of a team that's worth keeping tabs on for the most part. I mean, I don't even know who they have other than McMahon as someone that would be good for other teams.
Yeah, I don't know what the Rockies are going to do. Maybe if the Yankees aren't able to get Eugenio Suarez, they go for someone like McMahon because they desperately need help in the middle infield, the corner infield.
Well, the Rockies, I would think, have to at least be taking offers for anyone on their roster, I would imagine. If there's anyone that's interested in one of their players, are the Rockies really in a position where they can be no, we're not going to sell you them? They kind of have to listen to all offers at this point, I feel like.
Before they played the Orioles in July, Mickey Moniak in 15 games was hitting .423 with 4 homers and a 1,200 OPS.
All right, so we had a nice little hot stretch.
He's been killing it a little bit, and who knows if it's that Coors Field air or...
How many games has he played over the course of the whole season?
Right now, he's played in 85, so mostly the entire season.
So what's his stats over the whole season?
His stats at 275,
oh wow, he really jumped the batting average.
15 home runs.
Whoa, 15? Where did that come from?
I don't know.
What?
Where's this... Is this Coors Field, you got power just because we're in Coors Field, or
How many of those home runs are hit at home?
That's what I got to search up next. You got to do his home run log.
Yeah, here, hold up. I got to go to his splits.
So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 10 home runs out of his 15 are at home.
Okay, that makes sense. But still, 15 home runs. Having
a pretty good season for a pretty shitty Rockies team. And he's still under control. I wouldn't be surprised if the Rockies take some calls for him.
It's definitely a little bit of Coors Field. I'm looking at his other splits.
It's 100% Coors Field.
His average in away games is 220. His RBIs in away games is only 10. His OBP in away games is only 260. So it's definitely the Coors Field magic.
Oh, at least
that's
he's
fueling.
At least he's getting a shot. He was never able to work out with us. He was a number 1 overall pick and couldn't do jack with us.
Well, he's probably not going to do jack with Colorado or wherever else he ends up either, because it seems like the only reason he's only
getting consistent playing times because he's playing at Coors Field.
Yeah.
He's playing at the most hitter-friendly ballpark in the majors.
Yeah, the fact that he's got 85 games the entire season, yet he's only got 10 away RBIs, that rings some bells.
Yeah, out of 39. So he's got 29 home RBIs.
Yeah, with 10 home runs and 5 away home runs and 10 RBIs with a batting average away of 240, or no, it was 224. His batting average away, and his OBP was 262. Not very good.
Yeah, no, this is all the Coors Field effect right here in the full spring. So
that's crazy that you actually get to see it exacerbated in
literally
Mickey Moniak's game in his stats right now. That's crazy. You get to see firsthand the Coors Field effect.
Yeah.
But there's another guy who potentially could be moved other than Justin Crawford, and that's probably going to be Aiden Miller. I mean, unless the Phillies see Aiden Miller as the long-term future for
infield replacement,
Alec Boehm, then I don't really see where he fits in. Because, I mean, maybe you can slide him to second base.
He would have to learn second base if Bryson Stott
exactly
leaves,
and
or
there's no guarantee that someone moving from the left side to the right side of the infield is going to have the same success, because, I mean, to the outside looking in, it just seems like, oh, you're just seeing the ball from a different side of the field. What's the big deal? But some people aren't used to turning and being able, like, having to turn right to throw to second base or turn left to throw to first base. And you need to have a lot of range in second base, and you have to be able to make a lot of different throws from second base, just like you have to from shortstop. Difference is from shortstop, it's more strong arm throws, where second base is a lot more touch throws, I would say, where you need to really gauge how much you put on it, where shortstop you can kind of just let it fly because you're making long throws, so you have to just be able to, sling it like the O'Neal Cruzes and stuff like that. But second base, I feel like, is a little bit different. Because, I mean,
second base, you're throwing closer to first base than anything, unless you're making a throw to third.
And I feel like as well from second base, you have a lot of times where you're making throws from a very weird body positional angle that you're not used to being in as a shortstop. You know what I mean? Those open turn body throws where you are fielding the ball going towards first base and you have to open your entire body to get the ball to first base.
That doesn't happen as a second baseman.
Right. So it is a little bit different. It's not just like a guarantee someone's going to be able to slide from shortstop to second base and just, fit in seamlessly. But unless they have long-term plans to move either Trey Turner to the outfield, which, I mean, definitely could be a possibility, but I haven't seen anything from the Phillies that would indicate that that's something they're even considering.
No, I don't think they're even going to make that a possibility.
Right. So that kind of means that Aiden Miller is kind of like
the odd
blocked
man out
from entering the majors. And if he's going to be blocked by the people who are already here that you're not going to be able to get rid of,
then you got to get rid of him.
Then you have to get rid of him.
If you can get a player out of him,
exactly
if you get a player out of him, that's worth playing on the major league roster and contributing.
Yeah,
and you got to pull that trigger. I mean, it's what happened with Ohapi because he wasn't going to get any playing time with JT.
Yeah,
under contract.
It happens all over baseball,
They were able to get a player like Marsh out of him, who's contributed pretty well for the club.
It's happening right now with Duran, basically.
Yeah.
Where it's just vice versa. Instead of one of the younger guys getting sent away, it's Duran getting sent away.
It just sucks that he's the odd man out.
Yeah, like sometimes you're just the odd man out and you're more profitable for the team just to move and get someone better for a different position.
I got another player who has played his last game as a Philly. And I think
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, Max Kepler, another failed Dombrowski signing. And I think he played his last game as a Philly. 0 for 5, striking out to end the game in extra innings as the go-ahead run, or I think it was a tying run.
Tying run was on first,
Tying run was
right?
on first base or something like that, yeah. Last 30 days, 10 for 58. His only extra base hits are 2 home runs. So he has 10 hits, and 2 of them are home runs. So the 8 are singles. 8 singles, 2 homers, 58 at-bats, 10 hits.
Now, unfortunately, I don't know if it's his last game, because
but it will be his last week.
It's trending toward him no longer. I mean, it's been trending that way for a while, where he's not going to be here. Only thing is that, the only reason that he's still here in the first place is the Phillies don't have anyone to replace him.
Yeah, and
it's the only reason he's still
Dombrowski
here.
did say that they will call up Crawford if they can't get a move for an outfielder.
Right. So if they call up Crawford, then
he said they're going to be really aggressive this trade deadline. So who knows what's going to happen?
Well, Jason Stark has come out and said that he's heard from talking to a couple of executives when he was down in Atlanta for the All-Star game that Dave has been positioning his prospects to make a big trade for someone with multiple years of contract control team-wise. And Jason Stark said it seems like he's more going after a bullpen arm than he is going after a bat at this time. And
you got to address both problems, but I mean, I feel like you have to address the bullpen way more than you have to address the offense at the moment.
Yeah. So the way Jason Stark put it is he explained that what has been the biggest problem really for the Phillies in the past 2 postseasons? Has it been the offense not showing up, or has it been the bullpen?
It's been the bullpen.
And we all remember that, the offense doesn't show up, but he was like, you got to also remember the fact that the bullpen has been atrocious. You probably win that Game 7 in the World Series in Houston if
Alvarado doesn't give up that home run to Alvarez.
If Alvarado doesn't give up the home run to Alvarez. Because they were winning that game at that point in time.
Yeah, they were winning.
They were winning that game in what? The 8th inning?
No, it was
inning?
It was the 6th inning, and he gave up the home run.
Okay, yeah. But they were winning that game. The Arizona Diamondbacks was definitely a collapse of the bats. I will say that 100%.
The fact that they were up 3-2 and they had that enormous raucous crowd behind them and they couldn't get a win is just pathetic.
But also, you probably would have won that series if Craig Kimbrell didn't fall apart.
Yeah, he cost them 2 games.
Game 6 and Game 7.
He cost them
because they were winning in Game 6.
No, he cost them Game 3 and 4.
3 and 4? Mm-hmm. And then, let's see. He brought up another incident where the bullpen had
an ERA over 11 against the Mets.
Yeah, so when you really think about it, I understand we see more of the hitters failing because everyone is kind of more tuned in to the at-bats than the pitching.
Yeah, but the pitching is the main issue that they have to address.
And the at-bats stick out because of the horrible swings, because of the bad chases on pitches out of the zone.
Yeah, I wonder who does that.
Basically the entire freaking team, except for 2 players, Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber. Although Trey Turner has been a lot better at swinging in pitches
Bryce
outside the
Harper
zone.
has been having a great couple of days so far. Ever since coming back from the All-Star break, Bryce Harper has been playing exceptionally well.
Yeah, and
fantastic.
If he's going to play this well, then they have to take advantage.
Yeah, they got to take advantage of Bryce Harper.
Only thing that sucks is the fact that he gets hot, and now the starting pitching seems to fall apart a little bit. With Ranger losing his command in his last start, the velocity being down again fact that he's now up against the most innings he's ever pitched in his career and is breaking it now.
This is
time
what
going forward
comes into play for me. I think that for the playoffs, they do a 4-man rotation. Luzardo goes to the bullpen. If they're not going to be able to, I don't think Luzardo's going to be able to start in the playoffs.
I mean, that's still being optimistic and assuming that Aaron Nola is Aaron Nola when he comes back.
Yeah.
We have no idea what Aaron Nola is going to be. He hasn't pitched in 4 months. I mean, I do have confidence that Aaron Nola is going to be Aaron Nola, but when this is an injury that I've never really seen a pitcher have before. I mean, when's the last time that you can think of someone that had a problem with his oblique that turned into a fractured rib or fractured multiple ribs?
Yeah, I don't know what
it
was with Aaron Nola.
Like, it didn't start off as a bone thing. It started off as a muscle thing, and then it evolved into a bone thing, and that scares me, because that's like, where did this come from? Because wasn't he originally sidelined with an oblique strain or something like that? And then it was afterward.
Nobody knew what happened. Phillies really gave no info.
Oh,
on
they
how
said
Aaron
it was
Nola got
tightness in his side,
Yeah.
right? They said that he was experiencing tightness in his side, and that's why he went to the IL. And then he was gearing back up and re-hurt it, I believe. And then that's when they took him for the MRI and they found the whole bone thing where he basically had the stress fracture in his ribs. I don't understand that it wasn't described as a stress fracture. It was a stress response, I think they said it was, right? He had a stress response or something, which basically, I looked it up. It's like the precursor of a stress fracture. It's a whole bunch of tiny little bone fractures, basically. And he's dealing with that in his throwing arm, on his throwing side. I don't know. You never know how that's going to affect someone's delivery, especially when they throw, like, Aaron Nola's pretty overhand. You know, he's not really throwing the ball out here. He's more throwing the ball up, Aaron Nola, in his delivery. When you got to stretch your arm that far up, I have no idea how that's going to affect that rib cage.
Yeah, you were right. A stress reaction.
Yeah, that's what they called it, a stress reaction. And I looked it up. It's basically a whole bunch of microfractions or a whole bunch of microfractures that are in your ribs or wherever the stress reaction is taking place. So I don't know if that means that maybe he's going to have to change his delivery a little bit to mitigate pain. I don't know if there's going to be overarching pain that comes and goes.
Hopefully we get to see what he does in his rehab appearances.
Yeah, because he will be probably making those, 2 weeks from now?
Either next week or 2 weeks. He's definitely going to have to rehab, and we're going to have to see how he looks, how his velocity is, what his
I would assume
breaking pitches.
3 to 5 starts, right? Rehab?
Yeah, probably 3 or 4 starts. Not that many innings, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I mean, couple innings each, probably 3 to 4 innings.
Probably, yeah.
And then maybe the last outing they'll ramp him up to 6.
Yeah, they might.
I'm a little worried about Nola when he comes back, especially because it's not like he was pitching great before it happened. He had a 6 ERA. So
Nola wasn't pitching great at all coming in to him going on the injured list. So it's all up to just luck.
Yeah, a little bit, and health for at least the starting pitching rotation sake. Like, if Nola's not able to pitch, I understand you still have really good 1, 2, and if Suarez is able to figure it out.
Hopefully Ranger just bad start and he comes back and still dominates.
So if that's the case, you still have a pretty dominant 1, 2, 3, and then if you throw Nola out there for Game 4 and he clunks it up, that's only one time that he's going to be pitching probably in the series. You're not going to have your Game 4 guy pitch again, starting-wise, in another game in the series. Most likely. There's not 8 games. There's 7. So it's kind of like, all right, if you got to throw him out there for one start, as long as you're not already down in the series, it's probably not going to be too big of a deal if he doesn't have a great start.
Just limit what he can do. Like, if he's getting shelled, you gotta take him out. It's the playoffs.
But I am a little worried with just the fact that it seems like the starting pitching is now in question when it was the strength of this team. Literally 2 to 3 weeks ago, we were sitting here saying how their starting pitching is so good, they have the best rotation in baseball. It would be egregious if you wouldn't go for it with this starting pitching.
You have the best 1-2 punch in all of baseball.
And it's not even close.
Zach
right now.
Wheeler and Christopher Sanchez are going to be Cy Young finalists.
And not only is it a 1-2 punch that no one else has, it's a 1A, 1B. 1A is right-handed, 1B is left-handed.
Yeah.
Other teams in the league don't have that.
Teams don't have that, yeah.
Yeah. They might have 2 aces. They don't have 2 aces that are right and left-handed. You look at the Mariners, all their guys are right-handed pitchers. They don't have a single left-handed starter. So, like, that works very well in the Phillies' favor for the fact that you're not only going to be facing 2 dominant pitchers, you're going to be facing 2 dominant pitchers from both sides of the mound 2 games in a row. You're not going to see the ball from the same angle or from the same even side for, 20-something innings?
Yeah.
So
and they both have, and their velocity is completely different too.
Exactly.
And then you can fool them with Ranger as well, with his delivery, his velocity too.
Yeah, I mean, if Ranger's able to figure it out.
I think he will be able to figure it out.
I'm worried about Ranger just because this is the same exact thing that happened last year.
Yeah, it happens in the second half.
The thing that happened it happened around the same exact time too. As soon as he started to go over his innings pitched maximum, this started to happen. So track record right now shows that when he goes over his inning pitch maximum, this happens. Do I really think that's going to get better as he continues to pitch and pitches even more innings? I don't know. I don't know if this is one of those cases where pitchers get dead arm throughout the season and he's just kind of going through a dead arm phase where he just needs to strengthen it back up, or if he's just going to be toast for the rest of the year. Because just like how, you'll have hitters that will get into slumps, pitchers also get into slumps, and it's different with pitchers because what I hear to it referred to a lot is dead arm, and it just basically means that your arm is extremely tired, exhausted, and fatigued from all the amount of work you've been doing throughout the entire season.
Because you're pitching from March to October.
It's just unfortunately
February to October. 8-9 months of pitching.
Pitchers aren't really able to sit there and be like, oh, well, I'm going to take a month and a half off to get my arm healthy to then go back out there for the rest of the season.
That doesn't happen in baseball.
They kind of just have to pitch through it. Like, they just have to go through it and try to come out on the other side. I don't know if Ranger is going to be able to come out on the other side. Like, some pitchers, they get the dead arm, and then they're just done for the rest of the year. Others, I've seen it happen with Aaron Nola before. How many times have we seen Nola fall apart, collapse? Last 2 weeks of August, first 2 to 3 weeks of September,
yep.
And then he's lights out for 3 straight starts in the playoffs. I've seen it happen.
It's dead arm.
Like it's something that happens with pitchers. It's just when they get to a certain amount of innings pitched, they have this fatigue and all this buildup of stress and aches and all this in their shoulders, their elbows, their wrists. And if you're not able to strengthen your arm through the dead arm phase, then you're not going to be able to get back to where you were at the beginning of the season. And that's the thing that worries me with Rangers. We might not see
the full potential.
Right. We might not see what we saw again the rest of this year.
Because we need him to be at his best in the postseason.
Yeah. And he's kind of proven, or not, I don't want to say proven, but he's shown so far throughout his career that when he gets past a certain amount of innings, he loses his value a little bit. He loses what makes him great. And one of the biggest factors you can see in the fact that someone's experiencing dead arm is the drop in velocity. I mean, what else can explain the drop? He's not hurt. He's not dealing with an injury. There's been no word from the Phillies, from Rob Thompson.
No, yeah, there's been no injury except the one from earlier in the year, but
Right,
that was
but that was
way earlier in the year.
Right, that was before he was even pitching games.
Yeah.
So, like, that's not all of a sudden, like, coming up. No one has said, he hasn't said anything about his back. I haven't heard anyone say anything about his back. I haven't heard anyone say anything about him not being healthy. So,
let's just hope that it was just a bad start.
yeah.
Like, that's all we can hope for now is a bad start. He has to play the Yankees.
Yes.
Very good team.
And New York.
In New York, too.
Which, hitter's confines right there.
Yeah, with that freaking Little League, tiny-ass right field fence.
Yep.
If he's able to have a good performance in New York, I just say it was just a rough start, and I think that he'll be back to his original self.
One thing that I can say I do trust about Ranger is the man seems to perform when the lights and the pressure is on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially in the postseason, he's pitched in some of the biggest moments for this team in the past few years.
And not only that, he seems to every start he works himself into a jam and gets himself out of it.
Yeah,
Every time. How many times do you see runner on first and second, runner on third, and Ranger just gets out of it with giving up nothing? I mean,
dude, it happens a lot. It happened in the postseason in Atlanta twice. It happened against the Mets. I mean, he was able to save the clinching game for the World Series.
Exactly. Like, he does seem to come out and give his best stuff when it matters the most. And that is one thing that I think you can definitely rely on with Ranger Suarez. I just don't know if you can rely. I just don't know how often you're going to be able to rely on that, if that makes sense. If he's going to be your number 3 starter, you're going to need him to go out there and perform like that at least one time in every single series that you play in. Now, the limited times that he's done it in the past has all been in relief work. Not to say that he doesn't have any experience in the playoffs starting games. He does.
He's
but his
started
biggest moments,
both games and bullpen in the playoffs.
Right. But those big moments that we're talking about are
from the playoffs.
From the playoffs and
from the bullpen.
So
he has experience in the bullpen pitching from the playoffs.
Exactly. So I'm not sure if that affects the way that they decide what to do with him over Luzardo going forward.
And like what you said earlier, with Dombrowski moving starters to the bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've seen it with Ranger. It clearly worked.
And
if they don't want to take a risk with Luzardo, they do it with Ranger.
My only thing is I wouldn't want Luzardo in the bullpen because it seems like he's having trouble pitching out of the stretch. When you're coming in from the bullpen,
and if he's coming
in with runners on.
If he's coming in with runners on, he has to pitch out of the stretch, and he can't find the zone.
If you need Jesus Luzardo to come in a clean inning, I don't want him to be the guy that gets thrown into the bullpen, if that's the case. Because how many times are you actually going to be able to give him a clean inning to work with?
Yeah, unless you're bringing him in a starting inning.
Exactly.
Which is very unlikely.
I mean, I wouldn't say that it's unlikely, but it is definitely not ideal. You don't want to have a stipulation on one of your best bullpen arms that, I can only put this bullpen arm in and have him function the way I want him to if he gets a clean inning.
Unless it depends on the score, what bullpen arms are available. All depends on certain factors. That's
the only thing that worries me with sending Luzardo to the bullpen is just the fact that he doesn't seem to, whatever it is with him and the stretch right now, it doesn't seem to be working. Because he was absolutely fantastic last night up until he had to work out of the stretch.
Yeah, those 4 innings were fantastic. And
right.
Then the 5th inning comes, and, he completely pooped the bed.
The, leadoff guy gets on, and then all of a sudden he can't locate a single strike.
Walk, strikeout, walk, missed a pop-up, walk, grand slam.
Yeah.
And then when he finally locates that pitch, it's right down the freaking middle.
And then by the time he actually is able to get out of it, the damage is already done. You're already losing the game 6-5.
They are losing the game 6-5 at that point.
Is that someone you want? That can't be someone that's in my bullpen. I can't have someone that I'm putting in my bullpen that got me into that scenario when I'm trying to have him get me out of that scenario. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like I said it last week. When you come in from the bullpen, it's extremely different than when you start a game. And starting a game is extremely different than when you come in from the bullpen. Starting the game, you have the ability to ease your way into it. Not only do you have the ability to ease your way into the game, but you have the ability to prepare for the fact that you know you're going to pitch that entire day. You got however many hours before game time. You got your half hour before game starts. You're having your catch. You're doing your long toss. You're getting prepared. You're all that.
Doing your warm-up.
Right. That doesn't happen when you're in the bullpen. When you're in the bullpen, it's, yo,
the phone rings.
Luzardo, get ready. Yeah. He's coming in 2 batters.
You gotta start warming up immediately. Like,
yeah, and
you do a little bit of light throwing.
Right. If you are someone that's a starter, that is completely new to you. You know, like as a starting pitcher, I'm not asked to, hey, you need to be ready in two batters, and guess what? You've been sitting down the entire time. Like, that's the way it goes in the bullpen.
You're not going to be, like, energized for it at all.
And not only that, it's just the lack of preparation. You know? Pitching and baseball is a lot of times about preparation and preparedness. Do you have the preparation to know what the pitcher's arsenal is? What he's going to throw you? What his tendencies are? Where he likes to throw those pitches? That's all information that goes into having a successful at-bat. You know, you don't
that's
just...
That's what the hitters see when they look on the iPads.
You don't just see ball, hit ball. I know that's what a lot of, like, players...
That's what a lot of people think.
But and a lot of players will say that, too. A lot of players will say, oh, just see ball, hit ball. But it's not that simple. And
like, if you're facing a pitcher like Chapman, like, you know what's coming.
Right. But before that pitch comes, you're sitting there thinking, what's the count? Where did he throw the last pitch? Where is he going to throw the next pitch? What was the last pitch he threw?
Yeah, the hitter thinks that in the box. Like if it's 1 ball, 2 strikes, and he's thrown 3 straight fastballs, you're probably sitting slider.
Right, like it's all about preparation and preparedness. The entire of the game. Same defense. If you're not prepared for the ball to become to you, you're not going to make the play. That's why they have
the cards.
Right.
It tells them where to go for the specific batter.
Exactly. That's why you never see...
Go to left center field for this batter.
You never see anyone standing in the same exact spot on the defensive field.
They're not standing in the same exact spot picking grass or whatever.
Right, for 2 batters in a row. They're constantly moving. They're constantly changing. It's constant shift in your preparedness. It's always a constant shift in the preparation. And if you are the team that's less prepared, you're most likely going to lose. What do you do with a pitcher that's not as prepared? Starting pitcher is going to be prepared for the fact that he is going through with the pitching coach all day. This is what you got to look out for from the lineup. This is what you need to be on alert for if someone gets on base. This is what you need to look for when this guy comes up to the plate. This guy doesn't like this pitch.
This is what you got to throw this. This is what you got to do to this and that. Like,
right. But you have all that time to sit there and prepare for that as a starter.
As the bullpen, you don't have that time.
You get 2 to 3 batters to figure all that out in your head.
You got to see, all right, so this matchup is I'm a lefty coming in. There's 2 lefties and a righty. What do I throw to the lefty?
Right.
What does the lefty hitter not? What doesn't the lefty hitter like? Should I throw 3 straight sinkers? Should I challenge him with off speed?
And you can try to prepare before you get thrown into the situation. But it's hard to sit there and try to prepare when you don't know what you're going to be going up against. As a starter, you know what you're going up against because you know you're going against every guy in that lineup. You know what's expected of you. Bullpen, what's expected of you is different from game to game, from situation to situation. You know? In a starting role, they don't care how you get outs. As a bullpen, they extremely care how you get outs. If there's a runner on second base with no outs, guess what? They want you to get out of that inning without giving a run.
You have to get out of that
inning. You got to strike people out.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just be going out there and
lob it pitches down the middle.
Right, and having people just hit the balls to your defense and rely on your defense. Like, it's completely different when you come out of the bullpen as opposed to when you're a starter. And not everyone's able to make that transition. Look at Seth Johnson.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's shown flashes, but like,
this is a guy that has been a starter his entire life. They moved him to the bullpen this year, and what do you see? A little bit of command issues. What usually happens when you have to sit there and throw the ball harder because you're no longer pacing yourself? And whenever someone goes to the bullpen, their velocity upticks. Why is that? Because they're throwing harder. They're not required to throw as many pitches. When you're throwing the ball harder, you have less control of where it goes.
You're going to throw harder when you have less pitches. Like, if you threw 80 pitches, like, you're going to throw harder when you're coming out of the bullpen throwing one pitch than you are with 80
And the thing is, as a starter, I'm going 80 pitches. I can't gas my arm throughout the first 25. As a bullpen arm, you have no idea how long you're going to be in there for.
You could be in there for 30 pitches. You could be in there for 5.
Right, so you're letting it fly the entire time. You're just throwing as hard as you can, as much spin as you can get on your ball as possible. You're not trying to pace yourself. You're just trying to boom, 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 as quick as possible, get these guys out. And that's not something that every starter is just able to adjust to easily.
Quite frankly.
How many times have we seen starters be moved from starting roles to the bullpen and it doesn't work out? I can think of a couple of instances where it has worked out off the top of my head, but it's not every day that you get a John Smoltz or a Trevor Hoffman.
Yeah.
Or something like that, where these guys were starters and they were just so filthy that once they got to a certain age in their career, they were like, well, maybe let's just move you to the bullpen because you can't throw 7 innings anymore.
And they still were elite.
Exactly. Like, it's different if that's the case, where it's like, all right, you're a starter, but you can't go 7 innings anymore because you're 36 years old, so we're going to move you to the bullpen because you still got nasty stuff. That's not usually what it is when it comes to guys who are starters getting converted to relievers early on in their career. They're not getting converted to relievers early on in their career because they don't have the energy or the stamina to go out and pitch 7 or 8 innings. Most of them do. It's they don't have the command and control to go out there for more than 1 inning at a time. These are the guys who might go out there and have a great, brilliant inning, and then the next inning it just all falls apart. Kind of like how it happened with Luzardo.
Yeah. It's the thing with like pitchers, like you don't know what's going to happen.
Exactly. And there's very few pitchers, especially relief pitchers from today's day and age, that are just brought up to be relief pitchers. Everyone's brought up to be a starting pitcher. Like if you look at, youth baseball and high school baseball, no one is sitting there pitching in just a relief scenario.
Everyone will pitch a few innings.
Everyone is
going to start
to having that starter preparation and that starter mentality.
All the people that the Phillies brought up last year either started a game and then somehow ended up in the bullpen. Mercado.
Phillips.
Yeah, Phillips. That's what I was thinking about. I don't think we've seen Mick Abel from the bullpen yet, but
no. But
it's a possibility if you don't get traded. It's a possibility we see him in the bullpen.
Potentially, yeah. But a lot of times when you see guys who are Mick Abel's age, if they get moved to the bullpen, it's not because they don't have the endurance or the stamina to go out there and be a starting pitcher. They do have that stamina. They don't have the ability to control their pitches for that specified amount of time.
Like, you're better off pitching 1 or 2 innings than 5 or 6 innings.
Like Spencer Howard.
Yeah.
Dude would have dominant 1, 2, 3 innings, and then all of a sudden his velocity would dip 8 miles an hour and he couldn't pitch anymore.
He collapsed, gave up 4 home runs in the next inning, and then you're better off just being a 1-inning bullpen guy.
Right. And it's different, from pitcher to pitcher, but it's no guarantee that just taking a starter and putting him in the bullpen is going to fix your bullpen problems, because there's no guarantee that starter is going to perform the same way he did as a starter from the bullpen. So even though they might move one of their guys to the bullpen, it's not like they're moving Zach Wheeler to the bullpen, ladies and gentlemen.
No. If it's only necessary, if it's game 7, they need crucial outs, it's all hands on deck.
Yeah. And the way, I think the most recent example of it working, and it's Christopher Sale? Starter,
Chris
moved
Sale.
to the bullpen. guess what? There's no Chris Sale on this team. There's no Cy Young candidate that's getting moved to the bullpen on this team right now. You know, like when you think of the guys who are starters that converted to relievers and the people you think of, they're Hall of Fame players. They're all players that are really good and have been very good for long amounts of time as starters before they got transitioned to relievers. You know, like
So it's unless, like I said, one Game 7, it's all hands on deck. If the Phillies need an inning from Christopher Sanchez in a win or go home game, they need an inning from him. They will put him in the game if they know that they can get outs from him. Trust me.
Yeah, they have to at that point.
I'd rather have Christopher Sanchez than a
Game 7.
Game 7 over Tanner Banks.
Yeah, Game 7, everyone's going to be available no matter what.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people, obviously, that are available. Now, I've got a whole bunch of different names on here. So we got Stephen Kwan, who... Well, here, let me just start off. Do you think Stephen Kwan is worth trading for?
For the right people.
Would he be your top priority?
Probably not.
I would agree. So, just based off of that alone, is that really someone that we should be getting excited about if he were to come here?
I mean, it would definitely be nice to see a new face. That's
right.
Better than like Max Kepler or something, but
he doesn't fit the Phillies' needs.
Yeah, he doesn't fit the need.
So, I'm kind of just not really there for Kwan.
Except if you can get the Emmanuel Clase with him, then yeah.
Yeah, if you're able to get Clase and you throw in Kwan for something where you don't have to give up too much more prospect capital, I wouldn't be mad at it, but I wouldn't make him like an integral part of the trade or anything like that. I would just be going after Clase.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Jarren Duran is kind of the same, but brings a little bit more power than Stephen Kwan does. And a little bit more speed. I feel like Jarren Duran's probably a little bit faster than Kwan is, because Kwan's still pretty fast.
Yeah, they're both relatively fast. I mean, they're going to be able to track down fly balls.
Yeah. So I'm kind of also out on Jarren Duran just for the fact that he doesn't really fit the Phillies' needs. I mean, yeah, it would be nice to have him, but what's the point in having him when I have 3 versions of him already on this team? In, left-handed guys that can hit right-handed pitching. I already have that.
Yeah.
I have that in Bryce Harper. I have that in Kyle Schwarber. I have that in...
That's it.
Yeah. But that's not really what the Phillies need. They need a right-handed bat that can hit left-handed pitching, not the opposite. So for that reason, I'm also out on Jarren Duran. Now, Chapman from the Red Sox is someone I would definitely be interested in.
I don't think that he gets moved.
But I also don't think he gets moved either.
I don't think he gets moved solely to the fact that the Red Sox are 50-50. They don't know what they're doing. Chapman's very expensive.
Plus, I also think what they do with Chapman depends on what they do with Duran. Like, if they're able to get a player that's going to help their team with Duran in the trade for him, they're definitely not going to let Aroldis Chapman go.
Yeah. No, he's been lights out for them.
Right. If they get prospect haul for Jarren Duran, where they're not going to get help for a couple years down the line, then maybe I see them trading Aroldis Chapman.
Maybe, but it depends like what the standings are like at the trade deadline and whatnot. Right. So.
And even though Chapman is really, really lights out, and I would love to have Aroldis Chapman, I feel like we need a bullpen arm from the right side, not from the left side.
Yeah, we definitely need both, but the right side is what we need the most.
Yeah. So I actually really like this when you sent it to me. The Pirates, O'Neal Cruz. If you could get something for O'Neal Cruz and David Bednar.
Yeah, I heard the Pirates are going to be limited on O'Neal Cruz talks, but he provides the power. He provides you the speed. He provides really fast exit velocities.
Mm-hmm.
He does strike out a lot, but
He's going to provide also a lot of excitement,
a lot of
energy.
power, energy, yeah, speed.
So
He'll be able to play center field. Hopefully, be able to cover a lot of ground.
right, he reminds me of like I feel like him and like Ellie De La Cruz are very comparable.
Yeah, both fast.
Mm-hmm. Both
hit the ball. Both hit the ball well.
Both kind of have the same body, like type. Not like to say that O'Neal Cruz is as tall as Ellie De La Cruz is, because isn't Ellie like 6'5" or like 6'4" or something?
Yeah, Ellie's
like
6'5", I think.
I know
And
the Cruz isn't
is
that
like,
big, but he's what, like 6'1", I think, Cruz?
Yeah, Cruz is 6 foot something, I don't know.
Yeah, so I know he's not that big, but they have the same type of like body type, I feel like. They have the same type of like body structure, I feel like. And they're both able to do a lot of the same things. Ellie De La Cruz is electric in, electric on the base paths.
Electric on the base paths.
So is
electric on the field.
He's
electric
hits the ball
at the plate.
as hard as anyone else. So does O'Neal Cruz. Like they're very comparable. And you're not going to be able to get Ellie De La Cruz from freaking Cincinnati Reds. There's no way they're going to give him up. So if you're able to get the next best thing, which is O'Neal Cruz, I would take that in a heartbeat. Taylor Ward is someone that probably won't cost you a significant amount of prospect capital. But, I mean, you're going to have to probably give up, what, Abel? Or, I don't really know what the Angels are looking for. What they need, I guess they have a really good lineup, so what they need is pitching. So you would think that it would be someone like either, like a McAbel. Apparently, Painter is untradeable, so I won't even say him. Like Gene Cabrera, right? Who's like who's another pitcher they got. Chance is injured. Johnson's probably not getting moved now.
Griff McGarry.
Yeah, Griff McGarry. So maybe Abel and then one of the other two would be able to get it. I mean, maybe you might just be able to get it for Abel. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure how much they value Taylor
I don't know
Ward.
what, because we've already given the Angels pitchers.
And, I mean, they've given us people before, but I feel like we can't really use those trades to facilitate this one, because Taylor Ward is a better player than both Noah Syndergaard and Brandon Marsh were when we traded for them. I think we can both agree on that, right?
Taylor Ward, yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely the better of the guys from the people that we have traded with from the Angels. So I don't know if we can use those other trades as like some way to draw a comparison, but just thinking off of what their needs are, you would think they would be wanting to add some type of starting pitching. I would think, right?
Yeah.
I mean, their lineup seems to be just fine.
Yeah, they have they can build a rotation full of Phillies when we give them all the players we've been trading over the past couple of years.
Well, the only one that they have is Ohio.
And they'll have a full Phillies rotation and catcher.
And then, so apparently, On Pattison has come out and said that the Baltimore Orioles are unlikely to trade both Felix Bautista or Trevor Rogers.
No, Felix Bautista went on the injured list today.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Okay, so then they're not trading him.
No, he's off board.
Ryan Helsley has also come out and said that if possible, he would like to remain in St. Louis. He doesn't really want to be traded anywhere. Now, whether or not
doesn't matter. That doesn't know what the Cardinals are.
Right, I was going to say whether or not the Cardinals honor that
Cardinals
is up to them.
Cardinals are one of those 50-50 teams at the moment.
Exactly. Now, I could see them just being like, hey, stick it out here, and we'll get a contract done with you for next season. Or I could see them trading him away and getting something back. I don't really know if they have someone that could step in to take over for Helsley in the bullpen if they were to just trade him away. And I don't know who they have for next year that could potentially replace him if he were to leave in free agency. But he seems like he likes it in St. Louis, so it wouldn't be outside of the realm of possibility where if they don't trade him that he doesn't come back. So
just depends what the Cardinals are going to do.
Exactly. But that's someone that doesn't really seem like he's trying to make his way out, or there's any indications that he's going to be on the move, at least right now. And as well, Byron Buxton has come out and said he's not going to waive his no-trade clause. He's staying in Minnesota.
He said that.
He's not going anywhere. So the list is slowly dwindling on the people that the Phillies could potentially trade for, you know? I believe the Athletics have already come out and said that they have no intention of trading Mason Miller unless they get blown out of the water by whatever the deal is coming through. So that only leaves a couple of options left.
I don't think Mason Miller is even worth the trade at the moment.
Well, yeah, they said that they're going to have to get offer that would blow them out, you know.
I don't think it's... I mean, he's good, but I don't think he's worth, like, all the prospects hype.
Well, I just wonder what they mean by blown out of the water. Does that mean you want 2 top 5 prospects from someone's organization?
They probably want 2 top 5 prospects.
Because, like, yeah, if that's the case, you're never going to trade him. No team is going to give you 2 top 5s.
No team is doing that.
Especially for a closer. I don't care how many years of contract control you have over him. Like, no team is going to trade away 2 of their top 5 prospects for just a closer. But, so, with the names dwindling a little bit, here's the people that it seems like could actually be, you know, available, at least. Even though it's unlikely Clase is moved, according to the Guardians, they are listening to offers.
Okay.
So, Clase, I would have as my number 1 target to go after. And then after him would be Johan Duran, because the Twins have said that they will listen to offers for Duran, and Duran is available.
Duran, Jax.
As well as Griffin Jax. I would have, you know, I would obviously have Duran before Griffin Jax. I would rather have Duran over Griffin Jax. But Griffin Jax would be a nice, you know, consolation if you weren't able to get Johan Duran. I would put him as probably number 3 on my priority list. So I would have Clase, then Duran, and then Jax. Right?
Clase, Duran, Jax, and then Ward.
I'm not entirely sure if I would have Ward next or if I would have Helsley next. Because I still would be keeping tabs on the Cardinals with Helsley, and I still think they need a bullpen arm more than
but a bat. It's all what the Cardinals are saying and stuff.
Right.
What is it going to be?
So I would have Helsley at 4.
Staying or what?
And then after Helsley, I would have Taylor Ward at 5. Dave Dombrowski seems like he's one of those guys that could pull a trade-off with probably any team or with any president of baseball operations or whatever it is. But I feel like GMs do kind of tend to work in familiarity with other GMs that they know. You know, like the Mariners and the Padres have made a lot of trades with each other. You know, like the Phillies and the
Angels
or the Phillies and the Orioles have made a decent amount of trades.
Yeah, they like
with
making
each other
trades
over
with
the past
American
couple
League
years.
teams.
So there seem to just be those teams that they have like this, no matter what, they could always get a deal done as long as it's between those 2 teams. So even though they say that they're not listening to offers for certain players, you still might be able to like get them out of them just based off of the whole familiarity thing or the fact that maybe one GM threw you a bone in the past, so you got to do the same here. I'm not entirely sure if that's how it actually works in GM scenarios. I hardly would imagine that it would, but I wouldn't be surprised if there were certain instances where it was like, yo, I gave you this player that worked out for you 3 or 4 years ago, and I let you rob me blind, so I'm going to need something a little bit extra for you this time. You know, like, even though I don't really think that that's what happens, I wouldn't be surprised if it does. And if that's the case, then I think that probably the most likely scenario is the Phillies come out with Taylor Ward from the Angels, since it seems like they have this familiarity with the Angels where they're able to make a deal no matter what it seems. And
Clase.
Well, I want to say Clase.
Actually, I think you're getting Clase. They would do Quan and Clase. I think they're only looking for packages. So
we
off to Minnesota.
Yeah, I would want to say Class A, but I don't know if you're going to be able to get Class A, which would make me think that it's probably one of either Johan Duran and Griffin Jacks with Taylor Ward that comes in,
Probably.
and those are probably the deadline additions.
I think probably Jacks.
You think Jacks?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised if they swung really big and got Duran.
Well, let's hope, man. Let's hope Dabrowski takes that risk. So
Now, I just want to float one last trade proposal by you. I saw Aiden Miller and Gene Cabrera for Johan Duran. Would you do it?
hey, without a thought.
Without a thought?
Yeah.
I would do that too without a thought.
Without a thought, man.
I just wanted to see how high you were on Aiden Miller. I thought that was like a pretty good trade indication to see how high you are on him. But I would definitely let him go in a heartbeat.
If he's
for
getting
Johan
included
Duran.
in trade talks for reliever with control, then yeah.
Yeah. But that's the last one I wanted to float
I'm
by
rather
you.
off with Alec Boehm at third than Ada Miller. So